Good morning, yellow galactic suns, sons and daughters of the sun. We are. I've initiated a change of course yesterday. I want to say I'm trying to follow it. Wrong. I'm not trying. There's no trying in life. Although there's very much a trying of new things, life always tries to bring out. But it doesn't. What does it mean to try? What does the word trying mean? I need to look that up. Bear with me. Without those goggles, everything is too blurry. Oh, I still have a fission versus fusion open. I'm going to read that just for interest's sake, for anybody who needs to know. Nuclear fission involves splitting heavy, unstable atoms to release energy, commonly used in current power plants and producing long-lived radioactive waste. In contrast, nuclear fusion combines light atoms, light and light is like light. Oh God, why do we have the same word for that? I wonder. To form heavier ones, releasing vastly more energy without long-lived radioactive waste. But it's currently not practiced for widespread commercial use. Why is that? Fission is relatively easy to trigger. Fusion requires extreme temperatures and pressure, mimicking the center of stars. I'm going to get to the trying bit in a bit, but can you imagine? I mean, we are able to mimic what happens in the center of a star. Yellow star. Put things together in harmony and receive energy. What does fission do? It combines light atoms to form heavier ones. And what are they saying? It requires extreme temperature and pressure. I wonder what happens if we find a different way. If we find atoms, if we could find atoms that would fall in love with each other, and they would be magnetically drawn to each other for fusion. When we're in love, we create enormous amounts of energy within ourselves. We can go for days without eating and at the same time make love no end. I mean, we burn a lot of energy, but we also create a lot of energy. When we fuse, fusion, when we fuse quantum energy, the quantum field, we're not going to get around it. Quantum energy is it. I mean, there is as much energy as ever we need and more. I mean, there's no end, there's no shortage. Blue night We're in the Skywalker wave spell. The blue night wave spell is walking with us. This entire wave spell, abundance. There is abundant energy in the universe to fuel everything, to fuel us. I spoke about it with a friend of mine yesterday. Been thinking about it a lot lately. So it's in the field. It is either already on Earth and it's still being blocked by the powers that be. I mean, why would Mr. EM try to be the first trillionaire or something? It's not, I don't believe, and this is a personal belief, that it's personal, it's not an adoration of money, nor is it an adoration of power, but it is, I'm hoping that it is, and I want to believe and believe that it is, a person in service of humanity. And it is very possible that this person has to be so powerful, and on this planet at this point in time, power is backed by money. That kind of power. Maybe he has to be in that position that he can, like the way he bought X, he may have to buy out those powerful entities and their businesses so that this quantum electricity can be implemented on the planet, so that there's nobody in the way more powerful to block it from happening. How's that for a version? I'm going to get to trying. If we're all co-creating the reality we're sharing, we are to whatever degree creating our own, filtering it. It's always, to make a statement like that, heavily depends on the definition of who we define ourselves to be. If the definition doesn't go beyond a three-dimensional human body bag with a mind and blah blah, maybe that's not a very powerful thing. If we understand we are the divine, we have the divine, we are a spark of the divine, it's within us, we are created in the image of the Creator, who's created like everything, right? Like whatever that means. I feel almost, it feels kind of like, I don't know, strange to talk about this in words. It feels like as if words are such a low frequency for expressing this. Yesterday a friend of mine sent me, he's got a very, very powerful telescope, and he sent me pictures of, is it the Andromeda, the Andromeda galaxy? Oh, I mean, a composite image of 1600 images. Like you see this nebula, and just gorgeous, just beautiful. And we have no idea what we're looking at. I mean, we can interpret it through our filters, but in truth, we can't see it because we can't see beyond our imagination. We cannot interpret reality beyond our current means. Anyway, we are co-creating this reality here, and we're currently seeing anytime we see this co-creation, we're a part of it. So we can tell a story, we can actively, and this is part of the Tolkien, the whole point of it being to realize it's a tool for remembering who we are because it's fun. I genuinely believe that coming from the field of wherever we come from before we are born, where we know everything, are everything, whatever everything, no idea how to describe that, we come here and we purposefully forget. We play some kind of game here in the human avatar because we love it and because living in a limit, you need, in order to know yin, you have to know yang. So in order to understand or know the unlimited self, there has to be a limited self. In order to know truth, there has to be something that is not true. In order to know what life is, there has to be something that is not life, and it has to be knowable in some form. Even to know what knowing is, you have to know what not knowing is. I mean, it's really quite a paradox. But if we're telling a story, the stories we tell ourselves determine the life we live. And if we go around telling ourselves those very powerful people, the EMs, the JBs, what is it, DJTs, that they are the powerful ones who determine, they are a part of ourselves made manifest. We are this collective being, and we are as much in their actions. We all are. It's hard to understand for limited human mind. Anyway, I don't want to take us so far out there. Nuclear fusion. The yellow sun today, and the storm, and the dragon, and the dog. I'm gonna still get to this trying thing. Why ever? Maybe at the end, just for fun. Nuclear fusion, energy. I am a yellow magnetic sun, and I often feel I'm like a solar. I am not a power bank. I am not a solar panel. I feel like a charging station of some kind. And very, very often when people connect with me, I get that feedback that they feel more energized or more aligned with themselves. Now, when I align myself with myself, and I need to make more conscious note of this, and then I get into that same space. That's what this podcast does for me. For example, I energize myself. Why? Alignment with the sun, alignment with, well, my own magnetic center. I can't imagine any other form of life. Like, how does another human do it? Well, if you're born on the wave spell of the blue night, then I guess the magnetic night it's through sleeping. The magnetic tone. But then what is the identity? What is our identity? The magnetic tone in a wave spell is attract, unify, purpose. It magnetizes. I harped on a lot. Am I denigrating my own? A little bit. I am denigrating my own. I've never used that word, but I looked it up, I think, on the mirror. I looked up that other word as well. It is another word for denigrate. I've already forgotten what that word was. The truth, to know what we're here for, to know our identity. For me, it's a feeling thing. Knowing. What does knowing mean? What does knowing mean? How do we know something? We feel it. And when it's true, the universe or our life, our own guidance system affirms it. It sends signals, it sends affirmations. I want to go back to, now we have the blue storm here. I want to make a very small aside because I want to try to be a little bit mindful of what am I doing here. That nervous system situation that I spoke about in the last couple of days, it happened at the same time as I was very tired. Hui. Hui. Did I just say the universe sends affirmation? Love, love, love. Anyway, oh man, that's just like, I should turn the notifications off here, but and when something happens that we love, oh God, my God, Tatiana, it releases energy. It releases energy. The yellow sun, the sun is the star that powers the earth, that powers whatever. I mean, I can't hope to understand the system. I know we have a lot of people who seemingly understand it and explain it or whatever. It's still a major source of power, right? Made visible in these dimensions we're living in. And the sun's minions. Okay, I'm going to get there. Wait, I'm jumping around. It happened at the same time as I was very tired. And then my nervous system started kicking in this thing. And I was not really permitting myself that tiredness. And I know better. Something, my own body, was sending me signals. Please rest. Go to sleep. Or just do nothing for a bit. Stop thinking or just stop missioning or whatever. It's usually the way I feel. If I really ignore it, it can be that then I get a cold. And it means to me my body is running updates. It's receiving information from somewhere. There's an update. There's updates running. And depending on how big they are, they can run in the background or they have to arrest me. And the second day I took the rest that I needed consciously, and then I got over that hump and the whole nervous system thing regulated itself, whatever. So there too is in the Skywalker, a message that something that Abraham Hicks always says: when you are in a jam and you're vibrating on the end of the stick that you want to get away from, when you can't get to the other end of the stick, you got to understand Abraham speak, I think, to understand what I'm saying. I should translate it, but I'm a little bit lazy too. They say, go to sleep. When you sleep, you reset. and your cork, because they say in your optimal normal state the cork floats, a cork floats on water. What we do in our daily lives is we start actively pressing down the cork, and then we don't feel so good. And one of the reasons is A, the cork isn't floating, and B, we're wasting, we could say, energy pressing it down. When we sleep, we stop doing that naturally, cork pops up, doof, wake up, reset. The only reason we don't sometimes go into the better feeling place is because the minute we wake up, we're back into that same old treadmill in the head, thinking those negative thoughts, pushing the cork down again, worrying, na. And I know this backwards. So instead of listening immediately, hey, wait a minute, today I should just chill. But it was still a very interesting experience because I talked about the negative faith thing and all of that. Now, the sun, Christ consciousness, cosmic, universal consciousness, cosmic consciousness, love. The antipode of the sun is the dog. And today we're guided by this seed. Just saying that in me, it wakes up the whole. Wait, I've got too much going on. And here's a battle of will going on inside of me. It's not really a will, but a confusion. So when I get insecure, I want to talk about what I know or just explore the known instead of making a silent space for the unknown. Or am I actually here's my mind interpreting what's going on and has no idea about what's going on. And to allow myself to drop into the space where I don't know. Nothing known, not planned. The stillness of the now. Yesterday I read it about the blue storm. To reunite, to join, to become one with the heart of all that is. All right, that may be not so difficult, but to talk from there. But I wanna. It seems to me to be really relevant and worth the endeavor to talk about energy. We need energy. The human being needs energy. When we're depressed, we lack energy. As a person, sun-born, I harp on a lot about shadow. I'm always on about shadow work. Because it's needed for integrating, for being whole, for not splitting the atom. When we split the atom, nuclear fission, we create energy, we create nuclear waste, long living nuclear waste. When we integrate shadow, integrating shadow de-radioactivize that nuclear waste. And maybe a good idea for humanity to collectively start dealing with its shadow. Maybe it never will. Maybe it's enough if some of us do that. We can put our minds to deactivating that radioactive waste. We can do it through the field. That radioactive waste is part of the third dimensional field, is part of the quantum field. We can go in there and do something with that. If we can't deactivate it, we can use that energy, whatever that is. It's toxic. In exactly the same way, our shadow is toxic. And it isn't toxic per se. It isn't toxic. How can I put that? I'm often like talking with friends or we talk about like what is the meaning of ego? the word ego, it has different meanings. And if I'm talking about the egoic mind, I use it along the lines of that Eckhart Tolle uses it, as something that is not it's difficult. It's a disturbance in the natural field. The natural state of being doesn't require ego. And I don't mean ego in terms of a sense of self, a sense of I, a sense of Tatiana, as a body and some kind of personality. But what is personality? Do I need a personality? What is a personality? But that which makes up the composite image of me. But the ego is where I'm not in alignment with the truth of me, which is the divine, a spark of the divine, which is just an avatar, perhaps, that the divine channels itself through. That is absolutely like a harmonious flow. Oh my goodness, life is so easy. Oh gosh. Anyway, community is easy, everything is easy, being, it's like, oh, what are we, I mean, but shadow, ego, the egoic mind, judgment. They say the yellow sun is a place where it's really important to understand or investigate our fears, our judgments, our shadow, for sure. And what would the highest form of consciousness be? Love. White dog, the antipode. Without love, consciousness can easily become egoic, self-centered, egotistical. And what is self-centered? Egotism is often very misunderstood, and we have to. I mean, to get that balance right, like self-care and knowing what we need, and then being still a member of a social wherever, where it also I may need to sleep in the morning, but then I have a job that's requiring me to be there because that's what's needed of me. That compromise, that's the yellow star. And to be really in the flow and in alignment with life, it works naturally. When it doesn't, there is a misalignment somewhere. I remember when I was in school, I used to get very, very, very heavy, very, 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 very painful periods with nausea, vomiting, cramping, backache, fever, hot, cold flushes, you name it. For 2 days I was out. And my body, fortunately, my periods were relatively irregular. But whenever I got them, my body made it so that it was on a weekend or a public holiday or something. I never had to leave school. Like any other time I was sick, I always got sick on the free days. I never missed school. And the same with work later on. My body just knew exactly when to give me that, when I didn't have to abandon my responsibilities. And I was always very thankful for that. I never regretted that, oh, this is taking my free time. It's like, oh no, thank you, this is great. I mean, I didn't get sick very often, so I had enough free time. But yeah, that's something to look at. I never ever really looked into these troublesome periods. At some point when I was 16, they put me on the pill because that's like, they put me on the pill. They suggested I take it as a solution, and I agreed. And wow, my periods came like clockworks. And I was emotionally, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm just having the aha of a century. I got goosebumps all over. Wow. Okay. I think this is for another day. Let's go back to the yellow sun. But where was I coming from? Our energy, the ego, it doesn't matter. I don't want to, why am I investigating ego? Why does it matter? Flow. The blue storm is the analog, the best friend of the yellow sun. We talk sun, we talk what? Consciousness. Alignment is found everywhere. Alignment is really important. The white mirror, rhythmic in this wave spell, and the wave spell of the wizard is very important. We had the mirror on tone 5. It might be very good to listen back to that episode. The overtone mirror. The importance of alignment, of truth, of being in alignment with ourselves. And it's a natural state. For me, I've realized that this exploration of shadow in my own life, it's like I have to say, it's like a pastime. No matter how deep into suffering I go, it's never ultimately real. When I'm in it, of course, I don't know it. But the minute I come out, it's like it never happened. It's like a dream that I wake up from. When I'm in it, I'm like in a dream. When I come out, it's like, oh yeah, well, that was just an episode. That was just a dream. Now I get it. In order for me to know Skywalker, wakefulness, being awake with myself, knowing myself, able to explore myself, able to explore the outer world if I want to. I'm Yellow Sun. For me, the exploration centers around who is the self. And then how does that affect the things I do? But I've never explored the things I do because it's always just been in a flow. But there's a but there. But. Go to self. Explore that passage. It happens by itself. Blocks, shadow, energy. The storm, alignment, integrity, truth, the energy to follow the path, our chosen path. Oh, wait, where am I going? That isn't the trajectory. Love. Have I finished those? To power life on earth. Yeah, solar energy. Light is multidimensional, which means it's quantum. It has quantum properties. It's always been known, the Indians have always known it. The systems have always been in place. Now we're in this new paradigm of Western mind and worshipping science. So the new religion on the planet is like quantum theory. It's like a religion in a way, except it's not dogmatic, so it's not like a religion, but it's like a spiritual, it's like a system that explains yet again what every religion at its core already explains. I'm not sure about the Western religions because at their core, I don't know, there's so much control there. They are really, for me, not a good example. But the teachings of the Christ, for example, of course, it's right there. What is Christ consciousness? It's the sun. If you ever saw the film, what is it called now? There are 3 parts of it. Oh, I can't believe I can't come up with the name now. Jeez. Oh, that's disappointing, Tatiana. Maybe it'll come, I'll talk about it. In the beginning of it, it talks, I mean, these films are documentaries, and they talk about the money system and consciousness and everything. They weave it all together. Not samadhi. I can really recommend you see the 3 parts of samadhi. They're on YouTube. Very amazing. As much as I recommend the 4 parts, which each is a half an hour, there's a version where they're all in one, and it's 2 hours long. It's called Inner Worlds, Outer Worlds. Absolutely amazing. They all center around the same, putting all of these systems together, how the control systems work on the planet, how consciousness works, how to free it, roping in many, many, many spiritual schools of thought, whether it's Buddhism, whatever. And this one talks in the first part for half an hour explaining Jesus and the mythology around the sun born, this sun thing, and the virgin birth and blah blah blah, all of that. And it's so brilliantly done, linking it back to the ancient Egypt, the sun god Ra. Oh man, I gotta tell you, talk about synchronicity. There's this wonderful channel on YouTube called Library of Thoth. And I'm very much I read the tarot. The one tarot that I read, the only tarot that I really know and read is the Thoth tarot. Absolutely adore it. It's absolutely brilliant. And I at the time was listening to a lot of these Library of Thoth clips, and it just, you know how YouTube gives you the algorithms, they just popped up when I'm standing on a platform about to board a train. Or maybe I started it at home. Anyway, it was about Ra, the Egyptian sun god Ra. I step onto the train. I'm listening to this video. I step onto the train. The doors close. I'm standing by the closed doors. I look at the bottom of the door that I'm standing at. And I kid you not, scratched into the door with like a key or something were 2 letters. R-A. I can prove it. I have a photo. You wouldn't believe it. Oh my gosh. I regularly clean up my photo library. If I find that photo, I should just insert it. What was my timestamp here? If I'm going to put it in 37 minutes, maybe I'll do it. Anyway, let's talk about energy, sun, consciousness. If I can remember the title of that film. I can't believe it. I've seen it so many times. Oh, if it comes to me, I'm going to put it in the titles, okay? In the blah, 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 blah description. Maybe I'll even link it, because they're just really like, they're going to penalize maybe they'll penalize my channel if I do that. Well, maybe not. After all, these films are on YouTube, so it's just very strange. You're not allowed to talk about certain things, and they censor you, and they even delete people's... But then you have these films out there that are just like spilling the beans from top to bottom. I suppose they're very sure of their own power. I don't know, whatever. Maybe we are all upholding that power. Maybe this is the quantum playing field. I mean, what am I saying? The sun. What matters here is you. The only thing, not the only thing that matters in your life, but that's the first important thing that matters. If you are out of alignment, if I'm out of alignment, my life is like, yeah, we're all about alignment. Why is anybody listening to this? Why are we surfing the Tzolk'in? To understand what do we want to understand? How are we living? What is our goal in life? What is it? So, for me, I know my answer. So the sun has these minions, yeah. Today we're guided by the seed. We're guided by what does the seed need to grow. It needs the darkness of the earth. It needs the earth in the wave spell of the Skywalker. Let's not forget, bringing heaven to earth, bringing our seeds to earth, our own heaven, our own joy, our bliss, what are we here for? We've come here because we love life. to be who we are, and that is love made manifest. That is a being that loves what it does. Look at every single baby child born on this planet. Oh, there are some people who say some children, you look at them, I don't, like, you see the evil in their eyes. I don't, does it really exist? I have no idea. Is there like a dead look in a baby's eye and there's some other spirit in there? I have no idea. I've never seen that. I want to say every young child that you look at, you're looking at God. You see this unconditional love looking back at you. Direct link to source. And then ego starts to form, hurt, disappointment, and they start to reflect the non-love that they reflect. Yeah, whatever. But we are that love, we are that light, we are that divine, we are that, whether we see it or not. Even our shadow, when we split that off, as I explained at length in the white mirror about like what the duality building religions do, that split the world into good and evil, that split God into good and evil, that split God's creation, the unity of divinity, into good and evil. When you do that, you're not splitting a day into a daytime and a nighttime, which belong together, a yin and a yang, which belong together, which are separate, which have their own identity, but make up a whole that is dependent on the other. You have no yin without a yang. They have created this evil, which is definitely, in that way of thinking, the opposite to the divine. It's the opposite of God. Sinning. How can you sin? Yeah, you can leave, you can build ego, you can leave a path, but that's not, sinning, you can redefine it. And then, if I look out at the world, what's happening, it's karmic. There's a collective karma playing out on the planet in a lot of places. Absolutely, it's so obvious. And it's not punishment, it's just cause and effect. There's no way around it. There is just no way around it. And that's the way to learn, Like if I'm that child I spoke about the other day, putting the hammer and the nail and I don't know how to do it, I hit my thumb, I cry. Yeah, that is, you can call that karma. It's like I've caused that pain. But ideally I would learn and understand, aha, that's what happens if I don't know how to handle a hammer. So I learn how to handle a hammer. Boom, I've learned a skill. Good. Lesson learned. Karma is not punishment. It's divine. So the sun, back to the sun, love, energy. The sun god Ra. I recommend that video very highly. Library of Thoth. Sun god Ra. Look it up. It's worth listening to. The sun, the seed, what does it need? The energy of the sun. It grows towards the sun and the seeds into the earth. If we only look at the one, we only want the good, we're only going towards the sun, we forget the earth. We are made out of heaven and earth, sky and earth, yin and yang. We grow our roots into the earth for stability. We are made out of earth. We are formed out of clay. We are made out of seemingly physical matter. Once we enter the quantum field, we understand there is no physical matter, but in the third dimension there is, and we don't need to totally negate that. We can live in these realms, and we do, and we are. So here we're made out of dust and clay, but we are filled with the white wind, spirit. And in the sun wave spell, white wind, spirit is tone 3, electric. It is what gives us life. It is what electrifies us. It is what enervates us. And the blue storm is the analog kin to the yellow sun, connected to the white wind, the occult kin of the blue storm is the white wind. The system is so brilliant. The storm, the energy catalyst, it gives energy without changing by itself. A catalyst transforms something else but doesn't change itself. So that's magnetism for you. It produces a lot of energy. It's eternal. It's an eternal source of, if we understood how to use magnetism for energy production, I mean for using for magnetism is it, that's the shit. It is inexhaustive. I think we still don't understand what exactly causes magnetism, but it is a quantum power that we would do well to harness more of, and in our own lives. The magnetic, what are we attracting to ourselves naturally because of who we are? That white mirror, that's why the truth of who we are is so important, because then life becomes effortless. Flow, red moon, the yellow sun manifests in the wave swell of the yellow sun. The planetary tone is the red moon. Incidentally, in the wave swell of the Skywalker that we're in, the planetary tone, manifest, produce, perfection, right, is the white wind. Spirit. Breathing. In, out. Magnetism can create that pull, that pulse. That's the heartbeat of life itself. It's rhythmic, really important. You can't do without it. Our heartbeat, our breathing, it's rhythmic. Naturally attract the flow. It's easy when we get into ourselves, that place. What is that? We find it in the stillness. We find it in alignment with ourselves. Life reflects the alignment, joy. When we split the atom, wait, I need to go back there. This is getting long again. The planetary moon, I'm going to go back there. In the yellow sun wave spell, why does it matter? Because the perfection is in the flow. Life becomes easy when we're aligned with our highest form of consciousness, which is truth. There's no highest or lowest. I don't really like that very much because it's polarizing, but if we don't put a judgment on it, high is good, low is bad. Roots are not bad. Growing up to the sun is not good. Roots are important and they're going down. The lower self and the higher self, complementary relationship, belong together. There is no spirit needs the body. We are not a mistake. The body is not a mistake. Human is not a mistake. We are the divine expression of the divine, as is everything else. We have free will. We can do what we like. We can judge it or not. Up to us. The divine does not judge it. Yellow sun, explore the nature of your judgment, because your judgment is going to be what causes you to split the atom, causes you to create fusion, causes us to split off parts of ourselves into shadow. We've learned to do that. Religion has taught us to do that. We create the evil. The thing of evil, creating hell and all of that. That is nuclear radioactive waste. And look at what it causes in the field. Look at what it causes. That is our collective nuclear reactive waste. And why are we getting so much cancer? Because we are exposed to nuclear reactive waste. If you want to look at the level of third dimension, you can find it. You can find your proof for it, but in the emotional field, in the consciousness field, people are subjected to their own nuclear reactive waste, and it's affecting their bodies because of the shadow they've split off, because of the shadow we've split off as a collective. I could use certain nations on this planet as an example. They are a prime example to see what happens. You invade a place. That nation itself is like a cancer on the planet. They have invaded the land that they occupy now. Back when, they have, like a cancer, killed off the natives or herded them into reserves and all that shit that happened. And they're still doing it on the planet. It's still happening. And look at that nation and the nuclear waste they've created and what it's doing to them. It's getting really, 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 really obvious. that karma, that nuclear waste. But it's not to finger point or blame or judge. It's just to understand, where are we doing that in ourselves? Can we be very aware of integrating shadow? Because the shadow is not the evil that does not belong to us. There's no such thing. Everything belongs to us. We are a whole, and the whole is the whole, and it's holy. We are a manifested small fractal hologram of the whole of God, no less than that. And as long as if we don't understand that, we're split a part of this God and turned it into the devil, the evil, the hell, the punishment, I mean, oh my goodness, can you ever understand that? How the fuck, like, the age of Pisces. I love being Pisces, but that is the biggest freaking shadow of Pisces, and what a nuclear waste it has created. I just can't get over that. Oh, thank you, Lord. I mean, how funny is that? Somebody just told me there's another way of interpreting astrology. I forgot the name now. Sidonian astrology. What is the title of it? According to that system, I am now no longer Pisces. I am now Aquarius. Moving from the age of Pisces. Now comes this Sidonian or whatever astrology. I've moved into the age of Aquarius. I would now be Aquarius. I mean, that's a freaking quantum jump for me, like a pole shift. I don't know if I want to be Aquarius, but it's not about what I want, right? Battle of Wills. It's about what is. Be in alignment, be in the flow. Just, yeah, it's not my definition, it's not my identity, although Pisces is a pretty big deal in my identity. But maybe it's a good thing to get out of that identity. No. Just the shadow part of it, because I also have split off. I have also given myself some of that, and I see the results of that, hence my nervous system, hence the update I received in the Skywalker 2 days ago, and it's being made manifest in my talking, to me at least. White wind on the planetary tone. We're still getting there in 2 days. Today we have the Galactic Sun. Tomorrow we have the solar dragon. And today we have the dragon attached to the sun and the occult. Tomorrow the solar dragon. Oh, why am I a lover of the Skywalker to the degree that I just... The sun tomorrow in the occult position of the solar dragon. That is just like, understand, live, how nurtured you are, how nurtured we are. We are not in danger. No part of us is ever, ever, ever in danger. Just because we can be eaten by the Bengal tiger, no worries. If we are so identified with the body, we can't understand who we are, then it's like, oh, my one life and now I'm dead. What? No. Oh, my one husband, now he's dead. No, he's not dead, he's not gone. Yeah, he's left his body, but you're surrounded by so many others. It's a good opportunity to make love to someone else. I mean, whatever, there's so many ways to look at it. I'm making light of grief. I'm not being callous about it. It's just like we are so locked into our paradigms that we can't see the truth. And I'm saying it. Every paradigm is a truth. It's just a different truth we're living. But is it serving us? Hello? Or is it just creating a lot of nuclear fucking waste? I can only love this one person. That's a paradigm. Romantic love is a new thing on the planet. It's only about, it's only like, and like, it's not that people haven't loved. People love. But this idea of, oh, only you, I can't live without you, I want to kill myself if you don't love me, like Goethe's Werther, I mean, that is like the height of the romantics, and that's a paradigm to live. But that's not the only paradigm to live. If we believe that there is the one on the planet, and I have, like, I don't know that I've ever loved like that. But fortunately, if I did, it was a long time ago. I don't think I did, because I've loved many times. And understand, like, you can love again and again and again.
And each time different, each time as deep as, and there's somebody fell in love with me many, many, many years ago. And I mean, it was many, many years over. I mean, of course it was, yeah. But I then, many years later, get a message that finally, like, this good friend of mine, blessed soul, is letting me go. I'm like, and there was a whole long story about, but you are the one. And the honor that I should feel that I am the one, where I said, when I love deeply, I love everyone for me, I honor everyone I've ever loved. They're a part of my soul. There's nothing, nobody gets that exclusive, you are the one position, because I can't, it's not possible. I'm sorry. Maybe there's only one earth. That's the paradigm he lives in. If, I am the earth, you are the one sun. There's only that one relationship. I'm like, oh, well, there are a lot of suns around, or I am the sun, there are a lot of earths around. Maybe there's only one for now, but we live eternity, so there got to be a lot of suns around. I mean, a lot of earths, whatever. But it's like, did it serve him to uphold that flame, that candle to me for all that years, and just not allow himself to really go all in with someone else? We have to judge. We have the choice. We have the choice, and the nurturance that there's always birthing, there's always new beginnings. If the one love dies, or doesn't choose you, or doesn't go for you, or you lose it, or it ends, yeah, grief by all means, we can't avoid that. That would be splitting, going shadow again. If we don't properly grieve, we create nuclear waste. It will come back. It doesn't. It has a depends. Some atoms, they have a, what is the halftime, short halftime, low halftime, whatever. It sometimes you can split it off, take it, put it like in the bin, and it's like, it is going to decompose itself. Don't worry about it. You don't need to deal with it. It's true for some things. But for some things, no. Especially if you understand the halftime is so long, you don't have a container to contain it for the time. Like, it lives for hundreds of thousands of years. The best container you can make will disintegrate after 10,000 years. You have a problem someday, but maybe in the meantime you've built containers that and. So we are, there's no hope. We are not hopeless. The yellow dragon, I was about to say, the red dragon teaches us, or shows us, or has us realize we are always cared for. We're never left out cold, as some schools of thought would teach us. If you don't follow the teaching of Mr. X, you will be condemned to eternal damnation, or you will not have an eternal soul, or what horrible thing. God does not love you if you don't love his one and only son. Like, You are the one and only son. We are the one and only son. We are the one and only this, because everything is unique. Every snowflake is the one and only that kind of snowflake. There are no two of the same. It's that simple. Everything is unique and divine, and an expression of that unique divine sun. S-O-N, S-U-N, S-U-N, yellow S-U-N. It's just beautiful. And eternal energy, we are eternal beings. Can we manifest it in this body? I believe we can. Can we find a way? If we're seeking it, yeah. Let's, for me, that would be a worthy endeavor. And we are in this time now where, I mean, we've always had alchemists who are looking for the elixir of life, for the stone of eternal long living, whatever, the stone of, no, that's the stone of wisdom, right? The elixir of life, the stone of wisdom, whatever, the gold, the turning, whatever. So it's all about what I'm speaking about. It's all about how to know yourself, to be the eternal spark. And we don't have to hold on to the flesh. All we can, the best we can do, I suppose, is live a full seed potential, and when the time comes to surrender the body, because we have exhausted its full seed potential, we have bloomed and blossomed in time, we let it go because the eternal self will and needs to have new experiences in the new body. But we can choose now to live fully in this body for as long as we choose. That is a paradigm shift. That is a promise. That is in the DNA. That is everywhere I look, I see proof of it. To implement it, to make that paradigm shift, red dragon, blue storm. I never talk about being the eye of the storm. I'm for another blue storm. White wind, spirit, living on the earth, Skywalker. If we have to be Skywalkers. If we're suffering a lot, the body suffers and it degrades the cellular structure because every thought we think or every frequency, it's a question of frequency. It's a command to the cellular structure. If we think negative thoughts about another, our system assumes it's about us because it cannot tell the difference between you and me, because in reality, our experience reality, there is no difference. It's the illusion. If I think, oh, you look ugly, then it's an illusion for me to think that my mind thinks that about an outer you. The truth is, yeah, my mind thinks that, but the frequency of that thought, whatever, I'm feeling that frequency. And that is my body holding that frequency, even if just for a second. Now I do that a billion times a day. I become the frequencies I hold. One of the reasons for me I like doing this podcast in the morning, because it tunes my frequency right in the morning. I mean, I kind of do this anyway. I've been doing this all my life. I tune my frequency naturally, and I explore, and I have explored a lot of negativity in the last 10 years. And because I needed to really come to conscious realization of this yellow sun being, of this who I am, and how to evolve it. How the sun too is an evolving being, a conscious being that evolves. The earth is a conscious being that evolves. The solar system is a conscious being that evolves with conscious parts, moving parts. The galaxy is a conscious being. Do they have free will is another question. Free will is an interesting thing, whatever that means. Have the free will to not be in alignment. You can choose that. We can choose that. I think on the galaxy, why would it? It doesn't need free will. I think because the divine will is in expression. What other will is needed? But for this divine will to know itself, it needs somewhere within itself a dimension within which the opposite of this divine will is exercised or lived or expressed, so that the divine will, like the yin to the yang, is known. What is that? Like consciousness, becoming aware of itself. And we are a vital part of that because we have free will. And I can believe Cryon when he says there's only one planet that has free choice in, I forget now which radius he mentions, in the galaxy, probably I think in our galaxy. There are many galaxies, so there are many places of free will, but they're not as common. And yeah, so exercise, I like to exercise my free will to be in the flow with life. Yellow star, the Skywalker's occult kin, harmony. Bring heaven to earth, bring my joy, my bliss to earth, to the benefit of everyone. Not egoically, this is what I want and I'm going to take it away from another, or whatever that is. I don't know, that's my judgment. I don't know, maybe everything is harmony, we've just not understood it. So I can just know, the only bliss I can know is the bliss my body can hold, the bliss I can feel. That's the heaven. My physiological state, the frequency I vibrate on is the heaven I can bring into my body, which will express itself naturally in my life. The abundance of my frequency, the abundance and anything of life, red dragons, abundance, the field it can nurture my being on every level as soon as I step out of the way, as soon as my own little puny free will, but I want it this way, or I want to hold on to my pain, or I want to grieve, I want to create my own nuclear waste, I want to suffer unconsciously. Nobody says I want to get cancer, but we get it. So why? That question is paramount to have a sensible answer to. And when we have the answer, we have the solution. Instant healing. Quantum jumping, timeline shifting. It's a real thing. We're doing it. We're doing it all the time. We're doing it every second of every day. But if we keep quantum jumping into the same reality, maybe one we don't like, then we're not bringing heaven to earth, are we? And I have to ding, 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 ding myself in some places where I ding, 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 don't do that, and ding, 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 create, ding, 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 my own nuclear waste. The sun is a nuclear reactor of some kind, right? Whatever she does, it does. But it doesn't seem to it creates radiation that a human can't handle, but the earth, red earth, protects us from that. The system is so perfect. Red dragon, mother protecting her children. The whole of creation is perfect. Like, get it already. I'm preaching to the choir, I know. I mean, yeah, so yellow sun, we in the Skywalker exploring our joy, and we gotta come upon the shadow every now and then, and can we honor and respect it, not condemn it deeper, push it further away from ourselves, integrate all the parts of ourselves that we have mistakenly condemned, that we have learned in childhood perhaps that are not good, that we have, my stomach, that we have learned in our religious teachings and pasts that are not good, that we have been whatever, whatever judgments we meter out on ourselves and others, how to be good, what is right, what is wrong, what is bad, what is evil. We end up being the recipients of that, and life will show us the red dragon. The medicine of the yellow sun is always the loving mother. Remember, red dragon and white dog are linked through sun and monkey. Inner child, highest form of consciousness, any form of consciousness, light consciousness, the known, the conscious, and the unconscious, maybe the blue monkey, unconscious, if whatever the unconscious is. But the master of illusions, creating storylines, but the dragon close to the sun, the blue monkey is the antipode to the dragon, furthest away, so it can really create a lot of untruths, a lot of illusions. But the sun will burst those. The sun is light. It is, it is the realization that everything is true. Oh God, divine paradox. But this four, dog, love, compassion, community, and the sun, life, enlightened consciousness, whatever, dragon, nurturing being, birthing, and the monkey, what was it, magic, play, trickster. I have to look that one up. Why can't I think of the attributes of the monkey? And I was going to get us back to trying. 4% battery over here. Let's see. 4, self-existing. Where is the monkey? Magic, play, illusion. All right, those four. I've opened my eyes, I've looked at the screen, I've lost my train of thought. Where was it coming from? Healing, nuclear fusion, nuclear waste. I've lost my train of thought. I could rewind it, look it up. I'm not going to. But these four together are like, nurturing our being, that we are cared for, protected, that we can always just drop the sun. I always look at it like this. The dragon is below the sun. And if you look at the glyph of the dragon, it just looks like a cauldron, like a bucket, like a volcano, like a, I don't know, something that something can drop into. And when I get out of alignment, I can drop into the red dragon and just relax. And that's what I should have done 3 days ago. Just drop into the dragon, go to sleep. Go into the quantum field, dissolve all my resistance, stop, whatever, and just understand the nurturing, loving arms of life are always here to guide me, to protect me, to nurture me, and to set me back on my path, and to be in my flow. Hella, hella, hella. So, now I've spoken. I could go on, but I'm not going to. But I wanted to look up, what does it mean to try? Because trying is like a polar opposite to doing. Oh, vision. I want to keep this open because, wait, stop. Cancel. Open a new window. I love this fusion. Trying. First thing that comes up is a movie. People ask, what is the meaning of trying? Adjective. Extremely annoying. What? What is the meaning of trying? Adjective. Extremely annoying, difficult, or the like. Straining one's patience and goodwill to the limit. A trying day, a trying experience. Okay, wow. Oh my goodness, no wonder the world is like going bonkers. I'm sorry. Trying to try. Okay, there's a whole series, trying, Apple TV, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I got it. Trying, Webster. Trying, dictionary. I typed dictionary. Trying, difficult or annoying, hard to endure. It's been a trying day. Pressure, irritating, exacerbating. So I'm asking the wrong question. This is a case in point for the yellow warrior. Ask the right question. Now I'm going to say to try. Meaning. Make an attempt or effort to do something. Why does that not come up with trying? I am trying to do this. I mean, okay, now this is where I wanted to go. Make an effort. Make an effort. Make an attempt. They listened to my quantum channel yesterday and they were like, making an effort in the quantum field is exactly getting you the opposite of what you want. Because making an effort is affirming that it's not there or something like that. We should not be efforting. So this is a paradigm shift. You have to try hard. No, you have to change your frequency. That is doing smart. Subject someone to trial. That is also what trying means, to try. He was arrested and tried for murder. Make severe, the third meaning is to make severe demands on a person or a quality, typically patience. Make severe. Many tried everyone's patience to the limit. Interesting. Synonyms, tax. Make severe demands on, to try. Or to smooth, roughly planed wood, giving accurate flat surface. As a noun, an effort to accomplish something, an attempt. He got his membership card on his third try. Okay, I wanted to get to this trying, attempt, endeavor, make an effort, exert oneself, seek, strive, struggle, do one's best. do one's utmost, do all what one can, undertake, aim, set out, take it on oneself, try one's hand at, have a go, a shot, a crack, a stab, a bash. Give it one's best shot. Bend, lean over, backwards. Oh gosh, yeah, do that. That'll get you there. Bust a gut. Shit, what kind of language is this? No wonder we get sick trying, because we're busting our gut. I mean, hello. Do one's damnedest. Pull out all the stops. Go all out. Go for broke. Knock oneself out. Break one's neck. Oh, it just gets better, does it? Move heaven and earth. Give it a burl. Give it a fly. Essay. Assay. Okay, move heaven and earth. It takes me back to Skywalker. We're bringing down heaven to earth. I mean, it has nothing to do with trying. Never try it. Don't try it. Just do it. Attempt. Okay, I'm going to attempt. I can run with that one. The rest is just like, please. I can seeking and trying. Okay, this is not now a treatise on trying. Anyway, that was just a bit of fun at the end. I wish us all a sunny day. Energetic. The energy is within. It's monkey business in my eyes and we can do it, and we do it, to give us energy from without. Vitamin D is produced within the body through the sun. You do not need to expose yourself to a lot of sun. Daylight is absolutely enough. You are connected to the sun through the mind, through the inner. There is an inner sun. We have an inner sun. We have an inner power source. There are beings that live on inner earth, apparently, even humanoid. They don't get a lot of sun, but they have access to an inner power source. It's just we are sun dependent because we are plant life dependent. At this level of our evolution, we are dependent on chlorophyll. Even if we're eating meat, we're eating an animal that has eaten either other animals that have eaten chlorophyll. It all boils down to eating sun energy directly. I recommend the documentary. In the beginning was the light. Am Anfang war das Licht. That explains the process pretty neatly. Living on prana. Honestly, I'd love to. But I'm not going to endeavor just yet. Someday I think that would be really worth it. And what I love most is there are people who say we can do it, we've done it, but we've gone back to eating because we love eating. And some of them, they can live on prana and eat. But I think that might be the most difficult, to have our digestive system adjust to do both, being hybrid, to be a hybrid. There are cars that are hybrids. It's doable. There's nothing that isn't doable. So would I like to be a hybrid system? Maybe I already am and I don't know it. Maybe we all are and we don't know it, but we're not consciously. So being consciously hybrid, being able to live indefinitely without eating anything, ideally also without drinking anything. I mean, that would make life so much easier, wouldn't it, if we could all just do it mentally, but eat for pleasure. But when we are at that level of consciousness, the pleasure of eating will be so low level, like it really, like there's no need to. There are other pleasures that we would enjoy that eating would just no longer be. It just wouldn't be. It just wouldn't be. And I think probably people who live on prana on this planet, they live in dimensions on this planet that just don't really interface a lot with ours. I don't know if they'd be needing or using smartphones even. Would they be? We would just be in telepathy. We would just be in other fields, but being human, because there's a lot of delicious human experience. I'm going to place that into the proverbial future and investigate that some other point in time. All right. Have a blessed day, beautiful souls, nurtured, protected, conscious of it, conscious of your own being, our collective being, the earth, the galaxy. We are galactic humans. The galaxy is protected. Nothing, there's no harm in the galaxy. Even if a comet takes out the earth, I mean, the galaxy goes on and we're galactic. We go on. We just incarnate on another planet. We will rebuild the earth in a heartbeat. Yeah, I mean, there's like, I mean, it's just like, I mean, this reality is, it comes out of the quantum field. It cannot be, it can be, if it were to get destroyed, if this earth were to be like blasted into oblivion, that would be an experience that would be created, intended. And there would be many parallel universes in which that doesn't happen. And we would be living in all of them, experiencing all of it. And it would affect us. Perhaps 3 days ago, this earth in some place got obliterated by something and my nervous system picked up on it. This is a monkey business story because it's the pure imagination that's talking right now. There's no proof for it. I don't need any proof for it because I don't need that information. Even though if someone told me, yes, that is for a fact what happened, it would immediately calm down the other part of my nervous system or the other part of my being that's like getting nervous about not understanding what got me nervous. I don't have no time for no monkey business. Okay. Enjoy this day blissfully, ecstatically, or peacefully, calmly. Yeah, no more to add. Ow.